Good evening. How you doing? Man, they even got a couch here for me. That's great. Well, listen, it's great to be here at TED. I mean, Tampa is an amazing place. I mean, the people, the food, and the weather. I mean, I almost don't even want to go. They got me on this red dot, so I'm gonna make sure I stay within my parameters. You know, red dots is not too good, and I watch a lot of Die Hard, so red dots on folks ain't good. Okay. But, hey, are you the author of your future? You know, are you the author of your life? It's kind of easy for me, and you guys will know I'm kind of a jokester, but it's easy for me because my name is Arthur. Okay. So, but I have 6 points that I'm going to talk to you about being the author of your life, your success, and your future. Until, you guys, hopefully you can't be renamed or anything, but it's going to get you squared away real easy. But imagine this. I was in Charlotte, North Carolina, running a multi-million-dollar company, out of my dorm room, 26 years old, okay? But imagine this is you, okay? 26 years old, a millionaire by the time you're 26, you got multi-million-dollar company. Companies are doing what they need to be doing. I called my president of our company up. We're going to talk about our quarterly earnings, what we're going to do, how we're going to take things to the next level. What can we do to be the best and take over the world and be the next Charles Schwab. Okay, we walk around the boardwalk, very similar to out here in Tampa here, where they got the boardwalk, the people are there, the ocean and the waves and things like that are moving. And it wasn't the ocean, it was just, just a lake there, but I like the Tampa backdrop a little bit better. So, it's a very dramatic thing. And I'm very proud of, what he said and what he's doing. He's excited because he's like, wow, man, can you believe where we took this company from? Because I remember from the dorm room, and now you're at a point where this company is just really at the pinnacle and at the point of really going to another level. He asked me a question, what's the next step? And I said, sell everything. Sell everything at the height. And he was like, well, when he responded back to me, he said, well, Arthur, how soon and when? And I told him, and I said immediately. And we did that, okay? So why would I do that? At the height of my career, the height of everything. Why would somebody do something like that? It's crazy. You're a millionaire, you got success, you got, some fame. I was doing a couple speaking engagements just like this great event here. Why would somebody do something that crazy? Then I thought about something that my mother told me. She says, Arthur, why would you ever want to be a public success and a private failure? I never wanted to be, just the point where I was doing things in the public, but and deep down, I wasn't privately doing the things that I wanted to do. Was it not about the money? Was it about the countless hours that I was working? Was it that I wasn't doing my passion, at that particular time? So let me go and jump into those 6 steps that we talked about. The first thing you have to do is look at what is the whole purpose and meaning of your life? Is it something just that defines you by being in business? Is it something that defines you about, oh, do I have the best looking boyfriend, girlfriend? Like, what is it that really like drives you to this success? I call this thing called life wealth, something that is of total completion, a thing where you have the personal satisfaction that's in your life, your wealth, and your career. It's not just one thing that it revolves around, okay? So for me, I had a lot of other things that were already successful, but it wasn't complete success. So what I looked at, I said, okay, well, if in my life, if a person is just say they're a health nut and they do all the things that they do, but they go home and they're broke and they can't afford the stuff that they want to end up doing. That's not success. You don't want to be so successful where you can't spend the time with your family and loved ones. So I think you guys kind of get the point of what I mean by life wealth. So it's the personal satisfaction of your life, your wealth, and also your career. So the first part of that would be point one. I know you guys have a lot of notebooks and things like that out there, so write that down. The first one is vision. You got to have a victorious vision. You got to have passion in your life. Like, how do you know, like, what a real vision is? You know, it's something that when you wake up in the morning, you just can't wait to get up so you can get on it. When you go to bed at night and you still can't go to bed because you're still just thinking about it. You know, that's that passion. That's things that you got to have. That's what creates that life well. It creates that fulfillment to make you feel good inside. I mean, it's that driving force. When you have a vision like that, you also have to get knowledge based on what that is. You know, after I sold the company, made millions of dollars, did great things, I had the bright idea I wanted to be a film producer. You know, sounds glorious, but I didn't know anything about writing a film, okay, or doing anything to it. You know, it's crazy. But we went on to deal with some individuals, met a couple great people that were clients of mine. One was the Omar Tyrese, a New York Times best-selling author. Then I did a deal with them in Lionsgate, had a multi-picture deal. Then we went on to meet the creator of Final Destination, a $650 million hit maker, you know, in the horror thriller space. And, you know, all in all, it was because I was passionate and had the ability to meet some of these individuals, and that energy just kind of just created and made one big ball of things. But before I did that, I had to use what I had, and that was the knowledge base. I knew I was a great, you know, money maker when it comes to raising capital. I knew I was a good deal maker, so I was able to utilize those things all in one thing with that vision. My next point is a power plan, because I didn't know how I was going to do any of the stuff that I'm doing now. But a power plan is a written roadmap to your success, okay? A written roadmap to your success, because it can't be something where that you think that, oh, okay, I got this vision. I mean, a lot of us have a vision. A lot of people try to plan, but it's something that is written, and you can't tuck it away in your drawer, okay? You can't just tuck it in your drawer and just look at it and say, okay, it's just going to be there. It has to be something that's going to be visual that you look at on a day-to-day basis, okay? You know, for me, I remember when I wanted I said, I'm going to be a millionaire by this age, So I used to write all these little sticky notes on my mirror in my room, in my dorm room. You know, save $100 a day, do this, do that, do that. And it was so visual. So it's a written roadmap to your success. Now, you want to look at things from a short-term, a mid-term, and a long-term goal plan. It shouldn't be anything that's so far and away to where you can't ever achieve. It's like, oh, when I get to be 98, I'm going to retire, and I'm going to enjoy my life finally after I work hard to do this. No. When you are goal planning, this is your life, your wealth, okay, it's your career. Again, you're authoring your whole success of what you're trying to do. So you got to look at it. So short term, what are the things I'm going to do right now, okay? This is over the next minute, over the next 30 days, the next 90 days. How does this look? This is my outcome. Okay, what am I going to do over the next 5 years? What does it look like 30 years from now? What kind of legacy am I going to leave for future generations? Critical. But oftentimes, people get stuck into this thing. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Or I'm gonna. I should have. I wish I could have did that. I could have did this. We don't want to get stuck there. And that goes into my next point, the execution point. This is that driving force. This is you being able to achieve the achievable, not the unachievable, because God has given us so many different abilities that's out there that we can achieve, but we got to utilize them, and we got to move. We have to move. Why don't we move? Well, it's kind of easy. A lot of folks, they don't want to move because of obstacles. And we all get obstacles. It's kind of hard sometimes, when, things don't go quite the way we did it. We got this great vision. We're waking up in the morning, we're going to bed late at night, and all these other things keeping us up. We've been researching it. We're doing good. We got a plan of attack. Then the next thing, an obstacle happens. So imagine this. I'm sure we all got GPS, right? We know how to use GPS. But imagine if you were driving down a road, and every time you hit a rock or a bump, your GPS says, rerouting, rerouting. You would never get to your goal. It's impossible. It's impossible. You're just going to be going around in circles. We don't want to go around in circles. We want to move. We want to have life wealth. We want to have that satisfaction in our life, our wealth, our career, and we want to do it in all of those factors. I'm going to get to a point where we're talking about the marketing piece and you being a brand. My fourth point. It's called Product You. You are a brand. You are the CEO. You are the author of your life, your career, and your wealth. Businesses they have a tool that they call a SWOT analysis. Probably got a lot of business students here. It's called strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Now, in strengths, we all know what those are, and we're good at it. We kind of brag about it. Hey, we're good at this, we're good at that. But it's important because as you go after your strengths, you can move in the right direction and at least have a good start when you're looking at any of your goals that you're dealing with. My strength, personally, was, okay, I'm a deal maker. I raise money. I build brands. When I went into the movie studios, again, we didn't even have a script. But yet, we got a 14-picture deal worth millions of dollars just because of the things that I was good at. Now this goes to my next point. I had weaknesses. I didn't know how to write a script. We didn't really have a budget yet to do everything that we needed to do. So we had a lot of things that we didn't have. But that's okay. At least you got to admit and know what your weaknesses are. How are you going to accomplish your goals if you don't know what your weaknesses are? And admit to them and be true to yourself and know that, look, this is what I need to do to do those things. So we got great script writers. We got great distribution companies. All the things that I was not good at, I made sure that I got other folks that was around me that was really freaking good at it, right? You got to. So the way it works. Then you got opportunities out there. You want to look at the opportunities that you have in your life. You don't want to go into an industry that's like dying or not working. I mean, think about, I wrote about in my book, Only the Crazy and Fearless Win Big, where, Henry Ford was making a big transition at the time. People they're not in horse, buggy, and carriages anymore. So that probably ain't a good thing to be, making carriages at the time. Just ain't that smart. You probably want to go through to something more mechanical. Then you have threats. You have to look at threats. Again, we're not just talking about business here. We're talking about your career as well as your personal life. One of the threats for me is hit really home. My father has diabetes. And he says, son, look, you have to be aware and watch your sugar. You can't do this. You can't do that. You know how fathers are. But he's right. You got to understand that. What's the use of having wealth, having all these great things, but I'm blind or I'm lost a limb or not doing the things that I want to do? Again, this is life wealth. We're talking about having total fulfillment. Total fulfillment. So don't just have a job and you're working and talking, I'm just going to make this cash. I got to get this, got to get on the ground. No. Are you impacting other people? Do you feel good at night? Okay? Are you when you wake up in the morning, feel like this is what God meant for me to do? So these are the things that we're talking about. So have a complete life. Now, the next part of this is networking. I kind of like this. One of my best friend's father told me this. He said, if you got 9 broke friends, you're bound to be the 10th one. Okay? So hang around only winners. All my boys are winners. All my guys are winners. That's what we do. But I take it to anything and any part of my life. For example, if I want to be a fast sprinter or doing something with the best sprinters, I'm not going to be hanging around walkers. No. I want folks that's going to move, that's going to do things, that's going to challenge me to be faster, that's going to be quicker, that's going to be able to do things. So, and it's not about just taking, when you network with people. It's about also, you're giving. What can you offer to this relationship, whether it be business? You should also be able to quickly identify whatever your goal is to someone else within 20 seconds. You should be clear, be very concise, and know where you're going. Critical. Dealing with the unknown. Wow. As an entrepreneur, it's a very scary place out here. Man, where are you going to get that next dollar? Sometimes you feel like you're about to do $1 billion, $1 million, and next thing you know, hey, you may have lost $3 million. I've been there before. So how do you deal with that fear factor of that uncertainty of thinking that people are not going to accept you, your goals, your dreams, and all these things? Or do you even feel like you can actually do it? Can you move forward? Can you go from here to there and then over there? Then sometimes you got to go back to here. And how are people going to feel about that? Well, I'm going to tell you. Number one, you got to have a victorious vision. You go back to your points. You got to have that power plan, okay? You got to be able to execute, overcome those obstacles. You got to believe in yourself as a brand. Know who you are as a person and be honest with yourself. That I'm willing to do what it takes to get where I want to go. Am I willing to be around the right people at that time? The last thing, can I overcome obstacles and not be scared? So I want to leave that with you. I want you to, be not just a public success and a private failure. And remember that only the crazy and fearless win big. Thank you.